Thank you for having us. Thank you for taking the time out to speak to us. Please give us your name and your position in Princess Alice Adoption Home.
Okay, and thank you for giving me this time. My name is Tintswalo Matebula. I'm the home coordinator. Yes.
When did you start working with Princess Alice? Which year?
I started working with Princess Alice around 2015.
So it's been a while.
I started as a caregiver, and then I got promoted to the home coordinator position.
What attracted you to this kind of work? You say you started as a caregiver. What attracted you to this kind of work?
Remember when we grow up, we want to say, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a cop. So that thing, that's okay, I want to do nursing. Then I did a short course of nursing. And then it happens, there is a position in Princess Alice. And then I applied, then, yeah.
So on a daily basis, you say you oversee the running of the home. What are the duties or the things that you oversee and make sure that they are done on a daily basis?
Okay, the thing is, I make sure that abantwana banokudla, bagqokile banempahla, everything iyahamba kuyaphekwa, and then istaff siphelele. Yeah.
You speak about staff. How many staff members do you have on a daily basis?
For the nursery, we have 4 nurses for day staff. And then we have a granny program, Sinabo Gogo. Usually, baba by 15. So they do on-on-one. Gubantwana, they stimulate, feed, and do some other activities with them.
So you say you have a go-go program in the morning?
Yes, from 9 up to 1.
And then after 1, what happens?
They are left with the nurses, the caregivers. And then our grannies, then they buy a hand.
And then I know that you receive volunteers to come and, I'm going to say, stimulate or have one-on-one with the babies. How is that program going? Are you receiving a lot of people? We know that we come from COVID. Did that affect you at all in terms of volunteers, or people just continued coming in and volunteering?
I would say during COVID, it did affect us because a lot of volunteers were no longer coming. We had to stop them. But as for now, since we are back to normal, we do have volunteers that are coming in the mornings or afternoons.
So is it like specific kind of people, or can anyone just come in and say, I come from Inkosi Media, I would like to come and spend time with the babies?
Anyone can just call and then say, I want to come and volunteer, and then I'll tell him what I need, the documentation, and then there is an orientation where I orientate the volunteers, the do's and don'ts.
Okay, so you know exactly how to treat the babies.
Yes.
How many babies do you have at the moment? Do you have also a certain number that you can take in, or what happens?
At the moment, we have 29 of them, but our maximum is 30. Yes.
And where do you find mostly that the babies come from?
Usually we have our social workers who do all the jobs, so they bring in the children.
Or the social workers bring in the children for you. Yes. So I can imagine this is a very emotional kind of work. How do you take care of yourself to make sure that on a daily basis you're in a space that you can work with the children and can affect them positively?
Firstly, you'll have to train yourself and tell yourself that you are here to work. And then you need to make sure that you have the love for the children. And also the children need to connect to you. But at the end of the day, the mission is to is to take care of the children, make sure they are well treated, no abuse. Yeah.
And to someone who wants to do this kind of work, what would you say to them? Someone who's still in school and was thinking about it, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, doing this kind of work, it's a good thing. You must be patient, you must be loving, you must be able to understand a child. Remember, a child is not an adult. A child doesn't know what to do. She can just come and then slap you. She's just slapping you. You don't have to hit him or her back. Like, it's a child, you know. Yeah. So you must be patient. Yeah.
And just love your work and love children. Thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the best going forward.
And thank you so much for coming to our place. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Ngizoqala ngawe mama ukusiphe nje just your name and your position and what you do in the home, and then same question to you Meqeda. So your name, your position and what you do in the home.
All right, my name is Sister Tembi. I'm the nursing supervisor. I look after the medical well-being of the children at the home. So which means I'm responsible for anything they need medically. Like some of them will come with special needs and we take them to hospital. There are immunizations, you know, children are immunized from certain age to the certain age. That's all, that's mostly what I do.
So you mean that you work with other nurses within the home?
No, the caregivers. Yes.
Caregivers.
I supervise the caregivers.
Okay. And when did you start at Princess Alice?
2011.
And how has it been?
A roller coaster.
Just like life.
Yes.
Mama, please give us your name and your position, what you do in the home.
Okay, my name is Elizabeth Maki Kumalo. I'm a coordinator. I'm coordinating the grannies on how to stimulate the kids and to oversee that everything goes accordingly. I've started by being a granny at 2013. I've started at Old Tandweni Children's Home. 2020, I was promoted to come here at Princess Alice to coordinate the grannies. My job, it's to see that everything is being done, every stimulation is being done accordingly every day, starting from 9 to 1 o'clock. And to see that each and every granny has 2 kids to stimulate. We look upon 6 dominoes, which is gross motor, fine motor, cognitive, self-help, and communication. During that time, the grannies are stimulating the children according to their ages, using the toys that we place here to see if the child is delayed or is the child progressing well
on a daily basis.
Yes, on a daily basis. So yeah, that's what we are doing as grannies. And we come every day, the gogos come and they see, they make sure that their kids are up to date, are being dressed the way they want it. They even feed the kids, then they start playing with the kids. They do the stimulation one-on-one every day, because and then the most important thing about a granny program is this bonding and attachment, because
with the children.
Yes, because you can see at the homes there's 4, maybe 3 caregivers.
Caregivers.
And it's not possible for each child to have that bonding and that attachment. So with the help of Gogos, the children now are able to be, you know, to be attached, to have someone that they are attached.
Human touch
yes,
on a daily basis.
that attachment, because it's very important for the kids, and that love.
Yeah.
And that love, because for each and every a caregiver, it's not possible. They are not supposed to be attached.
So they work hand in hand.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
okay.
if they get attached to one child, and then what about others?
Yes.
You know.
You
Yeah.
mentioned, Mamuguti, you work with the caregivers. You oversee them. How many caregivers do you have? And how many volunteers that come on a
daily basis.
Yeah, almost daily basis.
Well, we are 24-hour facility. So then it means we've got 4 nurses during the day and 4 nurses at night.
Okay.
And then we also
So
have,
these are qualified nurses.
yes, the qualified nurses and youth and child care workers.
Okay.
So
there's 4
during the day and 4 at night.
At night.
So they rotate on a shift basis.
Okay.
And so those, and then the volunteers, and mostly because of the GOGO program, and then we've kind of like shifted the volunteers to come in the afternoon so that they cover the gap that the GOGOs would have left. So in the morning from 9 to 1, the GOGOs are here. And as she says, they have 2, each GOGO has 2 babies. So in between, in the 4 hours, then she divides her time with the GOGOs.
Okay.
So in the afternoon, then we are left with 4 caregivers. So we want that bonding and attachment to continue. So this is why it's encouraged for our volunteers to come in the afternoon, and they also come weekends, Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay. So, but the Gogos are here on the weekend as well?
No, they are here
Monday to Friday.
Friday, 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
So we encourage volunteers to come on the weekend?
Or during the weekend, yes.
Okay, when the Gogos. So during your time, I'm going to ask you and you, Mama, as well, how many roughly children, you said you came which year?
2011.
2011. How many children have you seen come and go on a roughly basis, maybe on a yearly basis, you see, because some get adopted and then others come in?
Yes. Ooh, I can't even count the number. There's been a lot of babies that have come through us. So I think we can say at least we have a proportion of about 50 in a year.
Okay.
With the rotation. They come in, they get adopted, because as you know, some of our children are adopted, some of our children go back to family, and some of the children go to foster care.
Oh, okay. So what determines them going to foster care? Do you know the process or procedure, or is it years that now you've turned this?
No, it's usually maybe there's a family circumstances that maybe at that present moment they cannot go back to family, or the family situation is not yet conducive. While the social workers are assessing the situation, they can for that period of time go back to the foster care. And then when the mother's situation or whoever is a guardian gets better or improved, then they go back to family.
Okay. And Mama, I imagine this is a very emotional work that you do. Firstly, how do you feel when a baby that maybe came in as a newborn gets adopted? How does that make you feel? I'm sure you're happy to see that process. But then also it's sad because they're leaving. Also, how do you take care of your emotional being?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. Remember, I've started by being a granny. I was also having my own kids that I was stimulating, that I was taking care of, that they were able to call our Gogo. Yeah, but now all of them are now mine because I must look upon all of them. But now it's very sad for the Gogos, you know. When the kid is leaving, yeah, it's sad because we've even asked the social workers to come and, you know, at least explain how can we, you know, how can we, I don't know how can I put it, but ukuthi singa khona kanjani ukuthi abogogo bamkele isimo ukuthi umntwana as much as sekabondile waba attached to yena, but now naye lo mntwana unida a stable home, a stable family. Uyabona, so leyo ibayenza ukuthi abogogo bakhone ukwamkela ukuthi as much as mina ngizoba naye for 4 hours lo mntwana, and then ngizobe ngihamba ngiyela back to my family, and then lo mntwana yena uzobaselela. So kubuye kubajabulise ukuthi at least nabo sebazoba nama family wabo, sebazoba nala ababelonga khona,
which we all need.
Yes, umntwana uyakunida lokho, uyanida ukwazi ukuthi kukhona abantu kuthiwa bo brothers, khona abantu kuthiwa ma sisters, khona abantu kuthiwa umama, although seka use ukuthi ugogo beke khona, but umama no daddy, ama cousin, izinto abazinida ukuphuma nje. Yiko abogogo they make sure ukuthi ba celebrate ama birthday wabantwana ngedate yabantwana, so that abantwana babe used to those things ukuthi noma bebuyela back emhlabeni ophila abantu bangazi kungabi the first time babona izinto enjalo.
Yini kheke
manje yini kheke.
Uyayibona le?
Yes, like on Friday we're having a birthday for abantwana ebebe birthday for this month. And then lokho kubayenza ukuthi babe ne hope, bajabule, and then there is a time whereby sibathatha futhi sibakhiphe i-trip, and bayajabula ukuphuma nje bayobona enye into ngaphandle, bajabule babuya bajabulile, and then kwenza nathi uma siba stimulate kube easy because lokho ku bring back i concentration yabo, bakhona uconcentrate, ba understand noma like mawumbonisa ukuthi this i-color rate uyayikhipha uyayibuyisela, bakhona uku-understand, and then if udemonstrate phambi kwakhe umbonisa, then he or she is able to do the very same thing. Yes.
And then just lastly, mamzobuza wena, emotionally, how do you take care of yourself, making sure ukuthi mawufika emsebenzini noma usuye ekhaya umama ekhaya uyasebenza emsebenzini, emotionally you are okay?
Well, emotionally, I think it's a very difficult situation that we find ourselves with these children, with so many difficult. Some of the children come with a very difficult background that are heart-wrenching. But I think at the same time, we think at the end of the day, some of those places are more like a calling than a job. Because if you take it as a job, you get frustrated. So I think you need emotionally to psych yourself and tell yourself you're doing good. Because there's so many wonderful stories of our children. As I said, I've been here since 2011. So when these children come back healthy, emotionally sound, and I mean, because I mean they've gone to their forever family, and you know they get the love of a home, a complete home where there's a father and mother, or just a mother who gives them anything. I think it also emotionally it also gives us peace. We are doing something at least worthwhile in this place. So at the end of the day, and as you said, it's difficult not to get attached to these children. It's they just creep. Up on you. Creep up on your heart, and there's really nothing you can do. You just find out now you've got a favorite child that is yours. And when they leave, it's a wonderful situation. And as I said, there's so many stories that we can recount of children that come. And you look at this child, and sometimes they've got medical issues that you, as a nurse and as your medical background, you're thinking, is this child going to survive? What is going to happen to this child? But there are people out there who will be saying, I want this child with whatever issues, whether it's a Down syndrome, whether it's an HIV, because of the child. When they come back, they're beautiful stories.
with
So it gives you some emotional stability.
Yeah.
There's so many, as much as it's heart-wrenching, there's something good that comes
That's
out of you
happening.
being here and you being looking after this child. Because some of them come at 6 months or 8 months and they are so small, they're premature, and you're just that small, and you just tell yourself, is this child gonna be anything?
They're gonna
But
make it.
They make it, they get a doctor, they come back, adults, well, teenagers, well, in my case, because I've seen from 2011 up to now, this has been 15 years. It's just a wonderful experience to be able to see the transformation.
I wanted
of
to
these
say,
children.
to find out, do you find that some come back
Yes, they
and say they
Most
do?
of them they do. Most of them they do.
Okay.
They come back and they come back to visit. And some of our children are adopted in America, Finland,
Okay.
Belgium. They come back.
Yeah.
And they come back to visit.
And just say thank you.
Just say thank you. So like some of them, what they do is like when they leave, they take away pictures with their favorite goggles, with their
Okay.
favorite nails. So they keep on like just showing them, this is your first person that loved you, that showed you love. So when they come at 15,
And
they are
they find
looking at Gogmaki, they're looking for Sister Tendi, because they find you. And sometimes also some of us would have baby pictures of them and say,
Yes.
look, this is what we used to do together.
That's good. That's good. Those are good stories. We just want to say thank you as well. Like they have come and said thank you. Want to say thank you for the good work that you do. We know, like you said, it's a calling. Not everyone can do it, but you wake up and do it every day. So thank you so much and all the best moving forward.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Siyabonga.
Thank you.